Oh my goodness gracious, it is freezing. And the wind's blowing at like 20 miles an hour. Well, let's go get us some logs. Yep. So I've been driving past these logs for like 2 years. I just couldn't find a use for them. And then today I said, you know what? I'm going to turn those 2 logs into mantles. Oh, here come the goats. They want to help. All right, so this is going to be a challenge. As you can see, the log has gotten some rot on the outside, but I am not looking for I'm hoping I can shave all that off and get a solid core for a mantle that I would later, that can be sterilized later. So, going for it. See how this works out. Should have built this up 2 years ago. Well, that's how it rolls sometimes. All right, well, that's the mantle we got out of that log. Pretty cool, some really beautiful figure. It's wound up being, I got an 8x6 out of it. Out of the log. And of course you can pick any side or surface to be your front or, but yep. It's nice and rustic. Definitely a lot of figure in this log, or on this mantle, I should say. Can't talk, it's too cold. Well, there you have it. That's the log milled into an 8x6 mantle. So we were able to take that rotten log, or at least it was rotten on the outside. The inside was still good, and turn it into this beautiful mantle, all kinds of color. This is hickory, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that before. And also, by letting it sit, that's fungus right there that's been growing into the wood. That's part of the decay process. This will air dry for a little bit, and then we will put it in one of our kilns to sterilize it. It would take way too long to kiln dry. And so what we do is we let it air dry for a bit, then we put it in the kiln and we just sterilize it. So make sure there's no insect eggs in there that are dormant. There definitely was insect activity in this. You can see signs of it here. There was definitely insects in this wood. May have been the reason it came down originally, but they will make sure they're all dead, as well as their potential eggs that haven't hatched yet. But should have this ready to sell here soon. Whew, man, it's freezing today. Goodness gracious. So, my hands are freezing. The wind won't stop blowing. I don't know if you can hear it on this mic or not, but we'll call this Rotten Log Day. So this actually is a log that I must have gotten again in about 2 years ago. It had been buried under a bunch of other logs. I'm not even sure what it is. To be honest, it was rough when it came to me. I mean, you can see it's got a terrible bow to it. So I'm actually going to cut this into 3 separate sections. I'm going to cut it there, and then it's kind of a pain in the butt to actually mill up shorter logs. It's easier to mill up longer logs, but as you can tell, the curve is very bad. There's no way I would get any decent wood out of it if I don't cut it up. So I think this is a maple. Not entirely sure. I'm taking a guess here, but when I open up, I'll know. But I came across it, like I said, it was buried under some logs when I was looking for some oak logs to mill the other day. And I realized I really want to see what's inside this log. If it is a maple, you can see on it that there's some fungal growth on it right over there, and you can see it over there. So what I'm hoping is that has created some great spalting. So if it has, this wood has the potential to be really pretty. I'm probably going to cut it 6/4, also known as 1.5 inches, so that it can be used for woodworking projects or charcuterie boards. Anyways, let's get the chainsaw out. Well, my little camera holder didn't do a great job holding the camera. As soon as I cut the log, the phone dropped down. Oh man, I milled this just about the right time. Gosh, a few more months and it would have been too late, but look at that craziness in that wood. Look at all I don't know if it's coming out on video okay, but there's reds, there's yellows, there's some, obviously some browns, and then you got some spalting over here. I mean, that's just beautiful. And then here's some other ones over here. But I mean, it is a lot of activity going on in that grain. Look at that. I mean, that is just, to me, that's just beautiful. I mean, there's times where I want to use some wood that's nice and clean and very straight grains, and then there's times I just want something that's wild like this. And this is absolutely wild. I mean, I love it. I don't know how well it's going to come out on video, but it's to me, it's beautiful. And this was a rotten log, and we let it sit just long enough to get those more. That's more of the spalting. That's from the fungal growth. We're going to let this air dry for a few months, put it in the kiln, get it down to the right moisture content, and then we will sterilize them. What that will do will kill all this fungus so it doesn't continue to eat into the wood, as well as kill any, like I said before, any insects that may be in here. I already caught one that was crawling out, so we milled it just the right time. Actually, there's a larval stage of one right there. That's an larvae of an insect. Larvae. I don't know. I'm not an entomologist, so I'm not very good at that stuff. But yeah, milled it up just the right time. We'll make sure all these guys are not in the wood anymore, or dead if they are. So, yep, very excited. Can't wait to finish milling the logs. But I may stop for the day because it is so windy that it's blowing the sawdust back in my eyes. Even with my my eye protection on, it's just blowing around the eye protection into my eyes, and I'm having trouble blinking a lot to get it out of my eyes. So I may stop for the day because of all the wind. But I'm definitely stopping for lunch right now. Well, one out of the 3 logs I cut up from the one larger log uh, yielded some beautiful wood, but the other 2, unfortunately, had way too much rot. Now, this actually rot was here originally. This wasn't a result of the log sitting too long. So I would have had this issue if had I milled it up day 1 that I received it, or when I milled it up today. So unfortunately, didn't get a whole lot, and there's just not enough meat here to make it worth continuing. I mean, to throw this in the kiln. So this is going to wind up with the other burn pile. I mean, there's some beautiful wood in there. You can sort of see it there, but what you can't see on film is there's just too much. The rot was in it. You just can't see it with all the sawdust on it. But yeah, so 1 out of 3. Well, I mean, I was thinking I wasn't going to get anything out of that log. So the fact that I got at least some wood out of it, that's absolutely stunning. I think it was worth my time. And I've learned a lesson. Mill it up next time, because I probably would have gotten maybe at least 50% of the log instead of 30% of the log I would have been able to use. So, well, that about wraps up this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you're enjoying what you are seeing, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks and have a great day.